Across the history of cinema, certain moments have captured the essence of humanity's deepest questions so perfectly. Today, we'll journey through 7 philosophical masterpieces from world cinema's golden age. All of them are from non-English movies. Remember, each scene represents a pivotal moment in both film history and philosophical thought. And please note that some of these scenes may contain spoilers. Let's begin with Ingmar Bergman's 1957 masterpiece, The Seventh Seal.
Är du beredd?
Min kropp är rädd. Villkoret är att jag får leva så länge jag står dig emot.
In medieval Sweden, the knight Antonius Block returns from the Crusades only to find his homeland ravaged by the Black Death. And then, on a desolate beach, he encounters death personified. But instead of accepting his fate, Block challenges death to a chess match. If he wins, he lives. If he loses, death claims him. That's not just dramatic cinema, it's the ultimate metaphor for humanity's struggle against mortality. What makes this scene so powerful isn't just the premise, but how it unfolds. As Block and Death face off across the chessboard, Block asks the question that has haunted mankind since the beginning: why is God silent? He's not just playing for time, he's demanding answers from an indifferent universe. When Death offers no comfort, no explanation for suffering, Block's desperation becomes universal. Aren't we all, in our own ways, playing chess against death, hoping to postpone the inevitable while searching for meaning? Our second film takes us back even further, to 1920s German expressionist masterpiece, The Cabinet of Dr Caligari. Throughout the film, we follow Francis as he investigates Dr. Caligari, a sinister hypnotist who controls a sleepwalker named Cesare to commit murders. But the final scene delivers a devastating philosophical twist. Francis is actually a patient in a mental asylum. Dr. Caligari, he's merely the hospital director. Everything we've witnessed may be nothing but Francis's delusion. This ending doesn't just shock. It shatters our epistemological certainty. If Francis's reality is entirely constructed within his mind, how certain can we be of our own perceptions? It's Descartes' skepticism taken to its terrifying conclusion. What if everything I believe is merely the product of madness? The film's distorted sets, those impossible angles and twisted shadows, aren't just aesthetic choices. They're visual representations of a fractured mind trying to make sense of an incomprehensible world. This scene anticipated philosophical discussions about power and perception by decades. Before Foucault wrote about institutions and control, Caligari was already asking, who defines what's real? Who has the authority to label someone as sane or insane? Our third stop is Federico Fellini's La Lucccevita from 1960. After witnessing the decadent emptiness of Rome's high society, journalist Marcello finds himself on a beach at dawn, watching fishermen pull a monstrous dead fish from the sea. Across the sand, a young waitress from earlier in the film calls to him. Her innocence stands in stark contrast to the corruption he's embraced. She gestures toward something we cannot see, but Marcello fails to understand her. The roar of the waves drowns her words as Marcello shrugs and turns away. This final scene captures the tragedy of the modern condition, surrounded by beauty, yet unable to connect with it. The dead fish symbolizes the rotting soul of society, and perhaps Marcello's own spiritual death. The girl points toward potential redemption, but Marcello has become too jaded to follow. Fellini is asking, when we've immersed ourselves in superficial pleasures, can we ever recover our ability to recognize truth and beauty? Or are we doomed to wander beaches littered with dead dreams, unable to hear the call of innocence over the roar of our own disillusionment? From Italy, we travel to the Soviet Union for Andrei Tarkovsky's 1979 film Stalker.
А почему не вечно? Как вечный жид.
3 men, the stalker, the writer, and the professor, journey through a mysterious, dangerous area known as the Zone to reach a room that supposedly grants one's deepest wishes. But as they finally approach this mythical room, they hesitate. The stalker argues passionately with his companions about the darkness within human nature. The writer fears his true desire might be wealth, not inspiration. The professor reveals he planned to destroy the room all along, fearing its power in the wrong hands. What's remarkable about this scene is how it transforms an external journey into an internal one. These men have traversed a hazardous landscape only to discover the most dangerous territory lies within themselves. The true barrier isn't the zone's traps, it's their own fear of confronting their authentic desires. Tarkovsky poses the question, if a room could grant your deepest wish, would you dare enter? Or would you, like these men, hesitate, afraid of what your true desire might reveal about who you really are? Our fifth scene comes from Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows, 1959. Young Antoine Duanel has escaped from a juvenile detention center and runs through fields, through streets, until he finally reaches the sea, a place he's never seen before. As he walks into the water, he suddenly turns and looks directly at the camera. The frame freezes on his face, uncertain, questioning, vulnerable. This moment transcends conventional storytelling. Antoine has reached the literal end of the road. Before him lies the vast, indifferent ocean. Behind him, the society that has failed him. His gaze breaks the fourth wall, implicating us in his situation. Truffaut captures the essence of existential freedom as described by Sartre. Antoine is free, but this freedom offers no direction. He's escaped his prison only to face the boundless horizon of possibility, which can be just as terrifying as confinement. When Antoine looks at us, he seems to ask, "Now what?" It's the question that awaits all of us at the threshold of adulthood. We gain freedom only to discover that freedom itself can be a form of exile when it lacks purpose. Our sixth scene takes us to perhaps the most visually arresting philosophical moment in cinema history, from Ingmar Bergman's Persona, 1966.
Jag är inte Elisabeth Fågler. Du är Elisabeth Fågler. Jag har inte...
Nurse Alma has been caring for actress Elisabeth, who has inexplicably stopped speaking. As their isolation deepens, their identities begin to blur. In the film's most iconic sequence, Bergman creates a single image by merging half of Alma's face with half of Elisabeth's. This visual metaphor becomes one of cinema's most profound philosophical statements about identity. What we're witnessing isn't just a cinematic trick, it's the visual representation of the disintegration of the self. Are we truly singular, coherent beings? Or are we fragmented, containing multitudes, seeing ourselves only through reflections in others? Bergman's genius is how he transforms Lacan's abstract concept of the mirror phase, where we form identity by seeing ourselves in others, into a visceral image that haunts viewers long after the credits roll. Equally profound is the film's meditation on silence. While Alma speaks compulsively, Elisabeth remains silent throughout. Yet her silence isn't emptiness. It's a form of communication more powerful than words. As Wittgenstein famously observed, "Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent." Some truths lie beyond language's reach. Our final scene comes from Akira Kurosawa's Ikiru, 1952. After learning he has terminal cancer, bureaucrat Kaoru Watanabe spends his final months fighting to build a children's park. In the film's most haunting sequence, Watanabe sits alone on a swing in the newly completed park, gently singing "Life is Brief" as snow falls around him. This isn't just a man facing death, it's a man who has finally discovered how to live only when it's too late. The gentle creaking of the swing and his quiet song create a moment of transcendent beauty amid profound sadness. Watanabe has achieved something meaningful, but he experiences it in solitude. The park will outlast him, filled with children's laughter he'll never hear. Yet there's contentment in his eyes as he sways back and forth, embodying both the transience of life and the possibility of finding purpose within that transience. This scene captures the essence of existentialism better than any philosophical treatise. We create meaning through our actions, even in the face of certain death. Watanabe's swing becomes a pendulum between despair and fulfillment, between the brevity of life and the enduring impact of a life well lived. These 7 scenes remind us why great cinema matters. In just minutes, these directors captured insights that philosophers have spent centuries articulating. Let me know in the comments below about your favorite scenes. If you enjoyed this journey through cinematic philosophy, subscribe for more explorations. Thanks for watching.